Okay, so today I'm going to start the my interview with Johnny, and Johnny is a gay man. He is proud of his lifestyle and where he's come from, and just different experiences he has had. So, if Johnny, if you can just tell me a little bit about you.
Um, well, I am 49 years old. So when I knew I was gay when I was very, very young, about 4 or 5 or 6 years old. I was like drawn to like dolls and more. But you know, back then it was not. I didn't know what that was when I was a kid. I didn't understand what it was until I grew up into adolescence and started to, when guys get naturally attracted to the females and, at the adolescent age, that just did not happen for me. And I always liked girls, I liked the guys too, but I wasn't sexually attracted to them when I was a child. I really didn't understand what it was, but I knew that I was different. I just could not put a finger on it. But I also grew up in a very rural area of Virginia, about 2 or 3 counties over, and I grew up in a conservative Christian church that preached vehemently against homosexuality. And so it really did, make me feel like I was alienated, isolated. I felt I was an outcast in school because, of course, I did have pretty much effeminate ways about me. So I got bullied a whole lot in school, and school was hard at times. But I did have good friends. I found my niche in, of course, the theater, glee club type
Okay.
part of a part of high school. So I found my niche, and I did have a strong group. And my parents, even though they were very religious, my mother was a Sunday school teacher, and my father happened to be a deacon in the church in this little country Baptist church that where the preacher just going to hell the whole 9 yards, and and I had a lot of guilt about being gay when I was young. I was hoping my own experience. I was thinking that maybe these were immature sexual thoughts that I was having when I was a teenager. And I just thought that possibly, hopefully, that I would eventually grow out of it. And so I've tried very hard to get intimate with as many girls as I could. And none of the relationships worked. It was very, very
Uncomfortable.
very, yeah, thank you, uncomfortable. I get lost for words, but it was quite an experience. It was in the very early 80s, and it was still very taboo. There was no really positive gay role models on TV. The very first gay character on TV that I remember was a Billy Crystal playing on soap. He was like the only gay man I've ever saw on television. And then there was like some negative movies that were very popular that came out when I was in school. One was called Cruising with Al Pacino, and it was about a serial killer of homosexuals, and there was never really any positive
Right.
role models like
So,
today.
so do you think times have changed?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I think well, see, I had limited media back then. We didn't have, iPads and computers back then, and, and we only had like 3 networks on television. And so, there was very limited exposure to that. And so I remember when I was like 18, 19, I met my first guy that I, fell in love with.
Okay.
And it really hurt because it didn't work out. And I started getting introduced to other people that he knew, and then I started working my way into a circle of friends who, used to take me to Greensboro, North Carolina, which is not far from Martinsville. I'll just go ahead and say it, Martinsville. And then, of course, up here in Roanoke, there are some gay bars. And there are gay activities. There's the Metropolitan Church for spirituality, and there's like gay groups that meet, like P-Flag, and then there's the clubs where you can dance and have a good time, be yourself, and
okay, all right.
So I don't mean to be. I'm rambling. Sorry.
Okay, you're doing it. Good job. So, what is the career life for you as far as being gay? Do you think that when you go to look for a job that this affect you in any kind of way, or do you feel that you're treated just as fair as, say, for instance, minorities or any other type of person? Or
well, for me, personally, I've had a lot of good luck. As far as finding jobs, just keeping them's been the weak part. But I have had many jobs where I have felt very discriminated against, and these were, I don't want to mention where they were, but
please
it was
don't.
like a lot of the supervision would, I think turn me down for promotions a lot of times, or keep me down, and because I knew I'd be doing more than the call of duty, but I felt like I was being judged for the rumors, because everywhere I would go, I wouldn't really say to announce myself, but people who would meet me would just start the rumors, and then it was just
so. As of just today, the way you carry yourself, I mean, are you proud? Do you ever feel ashamed or guilty, or
well,
just tell me a little bit about your personal feelings? I mean,
well, the shame and the guilt and everything was pretty much, I dealt with that when I was much younger, and because I felt like I'm a people pleaser, for one thing. That's one of my weak points. And I thought a lot of my relatives and a lot of people that I knew would reject me and not like me if they were to find out the truth. So that was a very difficult time in my life. But as I've grown older, I've grown thicker skin, and I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I'm very proud to say that I am a gay man, and it's just a way. I did not choose this. It's I think it's innate. It's natural. It's
just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. And people who, especially the church people who say that it's a choice and that you can change, that is just
not so easy.
so misleading, and it really confuses and it's a lot of people. Because I think if homosexuality is a choice, then that means, to me, that sounds like everybody must have been homosexual and had to choose to be heterosexual. Because that's just about as much sense as that makes,
Okay. Next question. So what is the positive aspects of being gay?
A lot of times, I have
all the girls like you, right?
All the girls like me. I never